Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode. And if you saw who I announced the other day, you'll know who's joining me today. You guys said it best. He's a true OG in his own right. Kefla Hare, what's going on, man?
Yeah, it's actually Kefla.
Kefla Hare, my
Yeah,
fault.
no, you good, you good. Man, I'm loving it, man. Loving life. I saw on Twitter, people were, excited. That brought me a little love. Somebody also said, "What's my name? Billy from All American."
Yeah,
Shoot, they
I
think
had
I'm
to I
I'm
had to
doing
do a
good.
double take when I saw that comment.
I said I'm doing good if they think I'm Tay Diggs. I can take that.
Is
Man,
it, is
life
that,
is good right now, man. Life is very good. Yeah.
is that
Appreciate thanks for having me, first of all.
No, yeah, for sure. I been looking forward to getting you on actually. Is that humbling to see so many people still to this day, though, even though you've like not been on TV for that long of a layoff, to kind of be so stoked to hear from you?
Oh my man, most definitely. Because even if you've been a person that's been on for a while and people hated you, and you can say, "Hey, I'm having such and such on," they be like, "Man, screw that cat. I don't care." But it's been love, and that is a testament, man. That when I was on, you know what I mean. I was, I guess I can say I was solid enough for people to, still hold a little spot in their heart for me, man. So I appreciate it, man. All love is good love to me, man.
So did you kind of organically kind of slip out of that realm, do you feel like, or was it intentional?
I think a little bit of both because, you know, uh, I was in college at the time. I actually was in between my junior senior year. And so when I did the first season when I did Road Rules season 6, I set out a year of school so that I could go and do it. And my main goal, regardless, was to come back and graduate. I didn't even know anything about like Road Rules and MTV. I knew the name of it, but I didn't know what it entailed because where I grew up in Foley, Alabama, we had MTV for a brief moment, but then it was like they thought it was negative, so the local church there in the little small city like shut it down. So the local cable company like shut it off, and so it wasn't until I got to college that I was able to see it. So I really didn't follow it, and so when the people put me on the show, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know I could go to bigger heights from here. You know what I'm saying? So when I finished, I was like, I'm ready to come back and do my thing. So anytime they asked me to do something, if it was in my schedule to do it, then I would, because I knew I had a goal to graduate, go get a job teaching so that I can move to LA. And I did want to be an actor. I just didn't think that this would be something that would get me there, you know? And so I think that, after the change of the dynamics of what they were looking for with reality TV going from storyline to drama. And I'm not a dramatic dude. Like, even when I was on the show, they was like, people want you to give more, if argue if you have to. I say, man, I'm not argumentative. If you a grown person and this is what you feel, I'm not trying to convince you otherwise. Plus, I know I'm only with you for another 2 weeks and then I'm back at the house studying or my friends and then I'm good. So I think from that point on, man, it kind of they was like, I like this dude, but he's not dramatic enough for us to, get views in at the time, So, and I was good with not being the dramatic person. So I was like, well, if you want me to be drama, I can't be drama. Like when I was telling you earlier, they wanted me to do the first battle of the sexes, and they wanted me to try to rekindle, I guess, on scene a romantic affair, romantic what I want to say relationship with Ronnie, because she and I were real cool. And at the time, I was engaged. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. Not even put us in that perspective for the editing can kind of get back and look crazy, you know.
Right.
And so I turned that one down. And then I think it was Inferno they offered, but my wife was pregnant with the twins. We had just moved to LA and she was pregnant with the twins and on bed rest. So I pushed that to the side. And so for some people, they were like, so why is he not jumping at this opportunity? Because I had other things to do. I was grateful for what they did, but I had a life that I always want to be a dad. I always want to be a husband. I always want to be these things. And this was to me right now more important than this other stuff. So
So for you, the show was like an extension or like a plus for you, whereas for other people it might be the first option with home life, job being secondary.
Yeah, yeah, oh, most definitely. Because like I love, man, I went to Alabama State University, man. That was, I had played football before in college, but then I transferred to Alabama State. And with the transferring, it was, me being eligible to transfer. I mean, to play, I had to sit out a season, all that kind of stuff. Like, nah, I need to do something. So I became a cheerleader and the mascot.
Oh
So
wow.
I was cheering and doing the mascot duties. I'm kicking it in college. You know what I'm saying? I'm having a great time. So, this was just another notch on me to say, oh, this is what I also did. MTV was. Like I said, I didn't watch it, so I didn't know that it could blow you up like this. I
Mm.
didn't. I was just like, thank God, it's a blessing that I'm doing. I appreciate everything you're doing for me. And then once that time was over, I said, I got to go back and graduate because I'm not going to be a starving artist in Hollywood. I'm not going to be living in my van. Jimmy Kimmel saying, yeah, Jimmy, I stayed in my van for 8 months until I got a job. I said, no, I was teaching. And, that's how I became an actor. That's the only reason why I started teaching is because I needed a job that will allow me to have time off to audition. And I knew summer's off. So I was like, hey, it's a good career.
Not a bad career to get in, but I think that like in acting and reality TV, those are two things, like at least I've heard from other people, that if you try to make that crossover
Yeah,
after being on reality TV, it's almost
yeah.
like a no.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult because people will look at it and they be like, oh, nah. And that's how it was when I moved to LA. It was all nah. And, but I said, all I need to do is get a seat at the table. All I need to do is get in front of the casting directors because I knew I had talent. You
Yeah.
know, I knew I did. And once I got an audition, it was over from there.
Yeah.
You know, I landed the job. And then it got to the point where it wasn't even about reality TV. It was
Mm.
about what I did. But like I said, I'm thankful for the reality TV because it did give the people a chance to kind of meet me, those who were familiar with it. And they knew I was a down home person, just a straight up dude. And so when I would get into the audition room, people were like, man, I appreciate the way you represented on the show. You were real cool. You was always level headed, so stuff like that allowed me to at least get the conversation started so that I could prove to them, okay, just give me a shot, you know.
Yeah. All it
But
takes is just that the shot getting in front of them and
that's it.
breaking the stigma.
That's it, man. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Did you notice once you got off the shows at all? Like, were people trying to get around you more than they were like beforehand? Like, this guy's been on the show, like, let's try and kick it with him and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
You would see a few people like, but not many because I was the kind of person that I would go up to people regardless.
Oh,
And it was just what was hard though for some people were they were they thought I was going to act a certain way once I got off the show, or now that I've been on the show. Like I would be standing in line somewhere, and people would be talking, and then all of a sudden I just be talking to, so hey, so y'all come here often or whatever, and they be like looking at me like, why are you talking to us? I'm like, I'm just a regular dude, man. But it would be people that would kind of come around you. But then when they realized that I was, regardless of the show, that I was still just a humble person, just a true dude from the South, a country boy, then, it would be like, man, okay, it's a good person to be around regardless. So I didn't mind people getting around me to be on the show because it was still like a chance for me sitting at the interview table, say, okay, well, if this is what you're going to use to get to me, let me show you why I'm worthy enough of your respect still,
mm,
because I'm a straight up individual because of who I am. And those things, man, help me, like with a lot of things, help me get interviews for teaching. They help me get, just networking for my friends or my families who was in different states and stuff like that, So, I took full advantage of every opportunity that I got while still maintaining, the just proper etiquette about everything.
for sure, man.
Yeah.
So, do you want to walk my viewers through what you're up to these days currently?
All right. Well, right now I'm a high school health and physical education teacher here in the Kennesaw, Georgia area, Kennesaw Mountain High School. So I'm gonna go ahead and give them a little shout out, because I know my students are always telling me to show them, the video of me, hooping against Kobe Bryant or milking snakes or screaming after the alligator almost got me, stuff like that. But also teach sports. I coach sports. I coach. I was coaching fast pitch softball, but I gotta let that go because I need some time to myself. I'm the head girls flag football coach, which is
Oh,
serious.
wow.
Yeah, it's just like girls flag football is like every other sport. Like they go to the playoffs, state championship, all that stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So we're in like our 5th year doing that, but we're only in our 3rd year starting. Well, 2nd year now. And I am assistant baseball coach here, so I'm coaching everything. Just finished my doctorate in psychology, sports
Oh
psychology.
wow.
So that stressed the brother out a lot. All this great. He can't. Like I said, married. My wife is an educator here in Cobb County, Georgia. Twin boys. They're graduating this year. One has a track scholarship to Tuskegee. The other one has an academic scholarship to Alabama State University. And man, just sitting here, man, trying to live life, man, trying to, educate these kids, about taking risk in life, about experience in life, trying to be a good role model, for anybody that needs some role modeling, whether it's as a human being, a dad, a husband, whatever it is, but that's pretty much what I'm doing, man. I'm just teaching and ready to get back out there, ready to get back into television again, ready to do some more acting, ready to do some reality stuff if I can. Yeah.
It seems like you're doing a lot for the community then, like over where you're at. That's actually pretty cool. The thing that stood out to me is, was that like a high school sport for the girls flag football?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, man, it's a sanctioned sport, man. It's like the 7-on-7. And when I tell you those girls get after it, oh man, it's insane. They get after it. The good thing about it is that one thing about girls is like every time they make a play, it's the best thing in the world. Guys make a play, it's like, yeah, I'm supposed to do that. Girls make a play, it's like full on celebration. The crowd's going crazy. I'm going crazy. So they appreciate it a lot more. But it's a new sport to us all. But the thing about it being fully sanctioned, like I said, they get to go to the state playoffs. They get to, bring home a state championship. But sports have changed so much. I mean, we got esports now. Esports is in high school, and you're playing like whatever esports games, and you get a state championship with that. They have esports scholarships to certain universities. Also with flag scholarships, I know the NAIA schools, there were 15 NAIA colleges and universities that were offering full ride scholarships for these young ladies.
Wow.
It's big, man. It's very big.
Yeah, and I saw on your Instagram too, you had a pretty nasty injury recently. Do you want to shed some light on that?
Yeah, I was actually every summer I train a group of college football players. Some of them that I coached formerly as high school guys. Some of them I coached against. And anytime I'm on the sideline, like I don't care if it's my kid that's in front of me or another kid, if I notice something is wrong, I'll tell them mid-play, yo, man, you might want to get off your heels and get on your toes, shoot with your hands, all kinds of stuff. I'm coaching third base, telling third base, hey, dude, get your glove down. And so these kids from all these schools, they reach out to me, hey, coach, do you mind training me over the summer or whatever? And so I was training a group of kids and just a basic, man, exercise. Some people call it dancing bear. Some people call it backward skips, and I rolled my ankle. And when I rolled my ankle, I thought it was just a bad sprain. And this was in June. Come to find out, there was I had tore 7 ligaments in it, but I didn't know that my 7 ligaments were torn until I did an MRI in August. So I had running, training, exercise, doing everything on a bad ankle, which means I tore it even more. And I had surgery in October, and now I'm dealing with nerve problems because of that ankle surgery. So we don't know if it was, botched. I don't want to say that, or if it's just scar tissue that's on this nerve. So, man, I'm dealing with that right now, trying to heal it up so that I can be ready to go, when they call me back. Because if you're ready to get into it, we can talk about.
Oh, the floor is yours, because there is this other show that's called All Stars recently that's right. Bringing some guys out of the woodwork. So
I get a call right when school starts in August, right? I get a call, school starts in August. So it's actually like the second week of school. And they call me and say, hey, we want to know if you're interested to do, I think it was actually supposed to be 3. It was supposed to be All Stars 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so I was like, yes, I'm down. And right at the time, it was just feeling like a sprained ankle. So I was still able to run, still able to cut, all kinds of stuff like that. but I knew something was wrong. And so I was like, all right, yes, I'm down. Put me down. You know, they said, okay, well, we're going to send you all the details, you know, whether or not you get selected, you know, or you become an alternate, you'll be in the COVID protocol for 2 weeks, wherever we are, we paying you good and all that kind of stuff. I said, bet, let's do it. And so they send me all the information to do the physicals, and I do the physicals, and I passed the physical, but the lady at the doctor, she was like, yo, I really think you just need to get it checked out because it don't seem right. And so I was like, yeah, I want to, but I'm scared because if I get it checked out and then it's worse than what I think it is, it's going to miss my opportunity. I said, dude, it's been almost 20 years since I received a call, you know, and I'm ready. I said, this is the year I'm ready to do this. You know what I'm saying? And so I get the MRI and they tell me that it's 7 torn ligaments in it. And they was like, you can go to physical therapy and see how it feels after a month, or you can go ahead and get the surgery. So I instantly get into physical therapy and trying to get it better. But all physical therapy does is kind of make it feel worse because of how bad it is. And so I call the people and I say, you know, and I tell my wife, I said, look, man, this is my opportunity. I said, I can hide it from them, you know, and I can just go and I said, and see what happens. I said, but if I go and I can't produce, then they're going to say this joker's washed. He's never coming back on the show. He's this, that, and the other. And I said, plus, I'm not being fair to myself, you know. And I said, hands down, Bunim and Murray has been good to me when they gave us the opportunity for Road Rules and the challenge beginning. I said, Mark is my homie. I said, I don't want to bring anything horrible to the table so that a person focus on me and say, see, this is why I'm not watching this show. Look at this dude. He's so old, he can't even move. And I said, that's unfair to them and all the effort that they put into it. So, you know, they called me and said, well, you'll be an alternate. I said, well, I could even go and just ride the money. I said, that's not you. I said, I said, but that's not you, man. I said, you're not about trying to come up on nobody. You're not trying to, you know, cheat nobody. I said, so just God got a plan, man. You know, it's a reason why he said, hold on, I'm gonna let them know that you're still available. I'm gonna let you know that people still know who you are, you know, so you don't give up your hope and dreams of saying that all the challenge stuff is over. He said, so I'm gonna bring it into your face, but it's not yet. You know what I mean? And that's why I feel like God just said, look, I'm gonna show you what I have for you, but I'm gonna pull back a little bit because I don't want you to have this just yet because I got something bigger on the other side. And so I went ahead and called them and I told them that I couldn't do it because I need to go ahead and get surgery. And they were, you know, disappointed. And I appreciate that they were disappointed because they sound genuinely disappointed. It was like, because everybody loved your interview. They loved, you know, you're going to be a fresh breath of fresh air because of your personality. You know, it's not just about the competition for you. You're still the same person who likes to have fun, like to joke around, like to, you know, whatever. And so it made me feel good that they still, you know, wanted me even after, you know, I told them that I was going to be injured, and they said they'll put me down for the next one, or, you know, and so here I am, man, trying to recover, you know, doing what I can do to get better.
So you don't think you could have potentially toughed through that, or would you have attempted to, or do you think you made the right call?
I know I made the right call, man, because if anybody ever watched like that first challenge that we did with Mark and all them, and they know how competitive I am, they know that's not me. I'm not going to just sit there and you know, half through anything. And it's not fair because if I'm partnered up with somebody and I'm not giving, you know, them 100% of me, I'm jacking up their chance to win some money. You know what I mean? Taking up some slot that is healthy, that could be there, that may need the money more than I do, may need the opportunity more than I do. Like I said, I'm good, man. I'm blessed. If I never get on the show again, I got my wife, I got my kids, we got a nice house, you know, I got my dream car, my Jeep Wrangler, you know, I'm good, you know. But I would dare not take an opportunity from somebody else if I know that they need it more than me, and that I had an opportunity to give it to somebody else. And me not being 100%, that's just not, I can't do that. It's not fair to anybody, man, for me to be, you know. So I'm good, man. I believe, like I said, I believe that God has something better for me, and it'll reveal whatever it is one day.
Well, I'm glad to see that, like, they still, you know, were considering you for this show. You know what I mean? Like, there's a list of so many handfuls of people, and that had to have been like humbling to just have that opportunity, had you been available to get it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that the people going are probably happy that you weren't on there, because I think you would have
Right.
been I think it would have been a problem out there.
Yeah. Oh, hands down. I'm telling you, because I was ready, man. I'm telling you before, because I was grinding, man. I was, I'm a Peloton fan. I was on my Peloton working out, so I was ready, man. And they know how I'm gonna be a competitor, dude. That's just, it is what it is. I'm gonna have fun, and it's just a game. Yes, the money is involved, but it's about having fun. It's about making relationships. It's about talking to people. It's about meeting people, because you know I just feel like whenever I'm placed in the presence of someone, it's for a reason.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna maximize every opportunity I get whenever I do get it. But yeah, if I would have been there, it would have been a problem, because I wasn't going to lay down.
Were you taken aback when you got the call? Like, did you expect that you were going to be like getting it?
Man, dude, I'm telling you, since I left California in 2006, I still have a 310 cell phone number. Every time a 310 cell phone number rings in my phone, anything that says LA, I'm nervous, because it was because when I first started, I was acting, and so it was like auditions. It was like, the show that I was doing called Hip Hop Harry. I was doing that right before 11. Hip Hop Harry was huge. It was like a, Emmy Award winning children's show. I was in the bear costume. If you seen, like, during the quarantine, everybody had that little meme, that little kid dance, like, go, go, go.
Yeah.
Next, so that was me in the costume. And
Oh,
so,
wow.
yeah, so every time I see a 310, I'm like, are they calling me for another gig? Are they calling, is it Road Rules? Is it the challenge? And so this time they called me. I wasn't as geeked about it, because for the last month, it was all these your extended warranty people calling, hey, your car's on extended warranty. We need to renew it. And so it just so happened I let it go to voicemail. And I'm walking across the campus, and I check the voicemail, and it says, this is, I forgot her name, with casting for the challenge. I was like I stopped right there in the middle. All the students was around, like, because it was like lunchtime. And I was like, yes, let's go, let's go. And it was like, Coach, what's wrong with you? And I was like, I'm sorry, my bad. So I had to listen to the call, man, and then I immediately called her back. So I was done. The rest of that day, man, you couldn't tell me. You thought I had won the lottery, man. It was crazy. Yeah.
Jeez, man. Well, I think I could speak for a lot of people that were hoping that you get on the future one.
Yeah, I'm hoping, man, if everything works well, my recovery is going pretty good as far as getting the mobility and flexibility back. Like I said, the nerve damage, we'll be able to make through it, because I'm still riding the bike, still working out. But I'm praying, man, that I get an opportunity. And I say, even if I don't get an opportunity in the competition aspect, man, bring back some of the, what they used to call the mayors, the people that used to introduce the challenges, let us introduce the challenges. Let us host a little, a half an episode or something like that. I said, I can do that. I know for sure. Me and Mark been close and cool for a long time, Mark. So hook your boy up.
Well, why don't you walk us through how you got on your original show, which was Road Rules Season 6, Road Rules Down Under? Could you walk me through your casting story and process, if you will?
All right. I was at Alabama State University, and I was working for student activities. And someone called and said, I picked up the phone. I said, hey, student activities, Alabama State University. Said, hey, we're from MTV Casting, and we're coming on doing campus tours, trying to see if we can find individuals to be on our show. And we wanted somebody to show us around. I said, sure, I'll show you around whenever you come on campus. Just, ask for Kefla, or just, come to student activities. And so they came on campus, and like I said, man, I had no idea much about the show. I had watched, 1 or 2 episodes, but the episodes I watched the one of Real World, where David was dealing with Tammy about the covers and all that stuff. I watched the one about what was it? I think Ronnie, and when it was on their season, and so I watched a lot of drama. You know what I'm saying? So it was this dramatic. I said, so all I know, y'all need somebody with drama. So we walking around campus. I'm showing, okay, this dude got drama. This girl over here, addict. This is right here. And so I'm showing them all these different people. They're going to interview these people. They're taking down their names, and meet us at this hotel. We're going to do a video interview and all that stuff. So they, we're hanging around each other the whole day. And like I said, at the time, I was the mascot in Chile. So And I knew a lot of people. I was involved, in my fraternity and stuff, Alpha Phi Alpha, and so I was doing, everything. So I was pretty much knew everybody on campus. So it was like, a lot of people, man. And then my interaction with everybody was fun, funny, And so they was like, how about you give us the interview? I said, look, the only thing wrong with me is I got bad credit. I said, other than that, I'm straight. They said, nah, come on, man, let's do something. I said, all right. And so I did a 15-minute interview. I went to the hotel. Oh, no, go back. Let me rewind. We went to a bar that night. And so they were talking about, we were in this booth, and there was some people at the booth behind us talking about these two mascots getting into a fight at a football game, getting thrown out and escorted off the field by the National Guard.
Wow.
But it was like, whoa. And they was like, ear hustling. The producers were. It was like, oh my God, it was what? And so then the people at the booth turned around and looked. They said, Kefla, man, how did it feel getting escorted out of the game? And so they was like, oh, that was you. I was like, yeah, that was me. Me and the mascot got into a fight. We got thrown out the game. We got on the field, so they had to throw flags because the football players were actually running by us while we were fighting, like on the 40-yard line. And so they was like, dude, this is a story. So they asked me to do the audition. We did the audition. I promise, man, like they gave me a call 2 days later, said, we're sending you a ticket, FedEx overnight to LA. We need you in LA in 3 days. And so I flew to LA and then when I went to LA, I went straight to the final interview. Like, this was it. This was the final interviews. And I was like, I didn't know there was a whole process to go through. So I did my little interviews and I came back and they called me a week later, said, we want you on the show. I didn't say, okay, what I need to do? They said, well, we'll tell you, just make sure you're going to be leaving about this time. So I said, I'm not going to enroll in school for the spring semester. And I did everything I had to do. I told my parents I'm not going to be in school. My parents thought I was dropping out. So they was like, oh my God, what's going on? I said, I don't know. So they thought I was going to jail. They thought I was, working undercover for somebody because I didn't know what I was going to do, and they didn't believe because they didn't know about MTV, And so, that day I got my ticket, and the ticket had Hawaii on there, but it didn't have a return. It was just like a one-way ticket. And then I got a big box of stuff to take. Like that sent us shorts and all that stuff, Ray-Ban sponsored stuff. And that was it. And next thing I'm on the plane and 48 hours later, I'm meeting my castmates on the bridge. I left there with $20 in my hand and $10 on my debit card.
Wow.
I had,
Wow. That is But you had no TV aspirations at that time, or did you?
I did, but I just knew that I needed to get to Hollywood to audition for movies. That's it. That's all I knew. I need to get to Hollywood to audition for movies because coming where I'm from, a small country town, it's Hollywood. You make it to Hollywood, that's where you go.
Yeah.
So that's all I knew. I didn't know this could be a platform. I had no clue, because a lot of people, when they did their shows, they said, are you going back? They said, no, I'm gonna stay out here. And some people never did come back, for all of those shows when they would fly them out there. And then because they would normally fly us back from wherever you were, you would fly back to LA and stay in LA for a couple of days to do like voiceovers or, editing stuff or promos or whatever it was. And then a lot of those kids never flew back. They just stayed in LA and said, I'm gonna make it here. I was like, I'm going back. I'm getting ready to graduate, in a year. So, but I had aspirations, but I had no clue that if I just kept pushing on that would get me somewhere,
That does seem like the popular thing to do once you come off your Road Ruler Real World season. You kind of see typically the cast members will soak up their quote unquote 15 in LA. It feels like LA is the hot spot for MTV.
Right. Yeah, man. But like I said, the whole time, because even Christina got mad at me during like our send-off episode. She was like, how dare you not care about us? I said, I'm going back to my friends. I just know y'all for like 2 months. You know what I'm saying? I said, and then sometimes was not us really kicking it. It was a lot of differences and stuff like that we had to deal with. I said, I'm getting ready to go back to my homies. I'm getting ready to go back to my school, my frat brothers, to some girls. I said, I'm happy to leave. And they was like on me for that. and you know, and I didn't know because I didn't know the amount of possibilities, you know what I mean, that people soaked up because like I said, I was ignorant to it. So I
Yeah.
was naive. It wasn't that I didn't like them because you know they'll say like I'm real cool with Susie. Like Susie and I are super close. Like, you
Right.
know, when we're together, we have a bond, man, that's different than anybody. You know what I mean? Christina and I, we're real close. Like I can talk with her whenever she comes to town to the Atlanta area. I go see her comedy stuff. You know, me and Susie, we always on social media now chatting, and we used to call each other on a lot. Shane,
Both of those two actually do. They're pretty big time with this
that's
podcast.
they all
Christina, Susie. Yeah.
time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And shoot, I got all the equipment. I just never when I started my
Oh man, you gotta follow suit now. You gotta make this
I
a
got
road
to.
rules down unders. Everybody's gotta get on it, man.
I'm gonna get on it, man. It's just me, and then I started thinking about the editing process. I'm like, oh shoot, last thing I want to do is another edit.
Hey, you got my social. You need any help? You hit me up.
Now I got you. I'm gonna be hitting you up.
All right, man.
Yeah, but
Oh,
yeah, and you know, so that's how I maneuvered my way to where I am, where you know I got there and how where I am now. You know.
yeah. So you keep up with them too, from what you say. What do you know? What all the rest of your cast members? I know people were asking a lot about Chadwick and Piggy were two that many
But
were wondering about.
producing, he's working on. He's still producing movies, short films. It was doing very well. You know, getting like a lot of little film festival awards and stuff. Got some pretty deep stuff out there. Um, and Shane is working. He was working for the Stampede in Calgary. Like that's real huge. He was like a marketing director for them. I think he has like 2 kids now. So I try to keep up, you know, through social media and stuff. And I haven't spoken to Piggy man in years, you know, and that's one. And I'm very concerned for her, you know, and I would love to see her again, hear from her again. Um, that's the one person that when we got off the show, our relationship got a little better. Like we start when I would see her, like we would catch up and we would have deep conversations that were like if cameras were there, that would be a whole nother show. It wouldn't be a dramatic one, but it would be one, you know, that was like needed, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And man, I don't know if she's doing well or not. Like I sincerely worry for her because she has so much potential, man. But it was like it was a lot of stuff that just wasn't clicking for her. Like she was trying, you know, trying, but it just seemed like you know how when the cars are not lined up for you, man. It seems like when you take 4 steps, it seems like a gust of wind pushes you back 6, you know, and that's what it was going for her. And I hated to see her that way, man. And but I would really love to get in. I would love to have a reunion with my guys, man, just so we can just sit and talk, man. It don't even have to be cameras involved. I just want to be around them again, you know.
Hey, there is another show called Homecoming. I know they're so far only revisiting real world seasons, but
Mm.
I've seen a lot of fans clamoring out there that Road Rules should follow suit with the
They
Homecoming.
need. I mean, and it's like I said, it's just people, man. They want that drama factor, but man, what happens when you got people out there that experience stories that may reach somebody?
Yeah.
You know, and I understand you can't roll the dice on a story just you know because there's a lot of money involved, but you know it's dude, it's some stuff out there that's for the people, man, and it may change the project trajectory actually of how you know some television should go, you know.
Yeah. So when you think back to your Road Rules season, just solely Road Rules in terms of what you've done, are there any like specific memories that stick out? Could be just stuff that you've done, maybe stuff with the group. Like when you think back and you're like, say you're just laying in bed one day and you're just like, I did this in my lifetime.
All the time,
Is there any like one or two moments that like stick out very distinctly for you?
all the time, man. Like the first time we met each other on the bridge in Hawaii, and we
Right.
met Ian and Tara from Northern Trails. You know, we met them, and they were our mayors. You know, to introduce us to everything. And it was like you know we had to do the mountain jump and all that stuff, and all these strangers. And we knew we were about to do something crazy. We knew we were about to do something exciting, and we didn't know if we were gonna, you know, make it, but we was like, well, whatever it is, we're gonna go through it together. You know what I'm saying? And just that bond right there, how it just clicked. And then a huge thing that when we did we went to Australia, we had to work the Pride Parade. It was so impactful, but it was like, it's crazy how if it was shown now, it'd probably be the biggest episode ever to come across the screen of TV, because of how it was, how now you have so much about inclusivity with everybody and stuff like that. And just, it was a tough episode, you know what I mean? Of us getting out of our comfort zone. Susie coming from the Brady Bunch style lifestyle, like she said, that she dealt with, me from the deep South, where that wasn't common, but I accepted it, and whatever it is, let's do it. That adversity that we dealt with then, and we all came together with love and stuff like that. And I still think about when Chadwick was playing the goddamn guitar out of nowhere on the elevator, pressed the girls. And I was like, this joker trying to, come on, man. He'll walk by a piano. We'll be walking up the street. He'll see a piano in the window. He'll go in there and start playing it, showing folks he can play the piano. I was like, dude, right now, I said, but I ain't gonna hate on you. You're talented. You can do everything in the book, but we got to go. Let's go. So it's a lot of stuff that always runs through my head, man, and stuff that I was like, dang, I wish I could call him right now and let's talk about that and laugh about it.
Man, me and you talked about this off recording. It just lacks today, man. We just don't have like that same type of different people coming from different walks of life to create one beautiful thing.
Yeah.
That feels so authentic. We just don't have that today, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And there's some reasons for that. I mean, times change.
Right.
We live in a social media time where people may be going on television for brand purposes, jockeying for just camera time and stuff like that. But back when you guys were doing it, man, it just wasn't about that. It was just about the experience.
That's it, man. Because they're trying to take all these people somewhere they've never been before, do things they've never done. So it's the first time for everybody. You know what I mean? So it's and now, like you said, it's about who can get the most airtime with the most drama, who can, spew the most hate, and I've never been about that, but that's what the television is getting to, man, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, here's another memory I think you might want to talk about, since we had a lot of fans want me to talk about this. I'm hearing something about you with reptiles or snakes. Was that a thing?
Hey, I don't play with snakes to this day. Like, I'm only scared of two things, man. That's reptiles and cats. I don't fool with nothing.
Cats?
Yeah,
Cats.
Yeah, cats.
Well,
cats are evil. Don't let nobody ever tell you, man. Cats are evil.
those feel like two different things, though, man. Like,
hey, in my book, they the same.
All right, fair enough.
I don't fool with reptiles, man. And it's so crazy because I have a zoology teacher at the school that I work at, and every time they get into the reptile section or reptile unit, she always shows the clip of me trying to milk the poisonous snake and screaming because the snake tail touches my wrist, and I'm screaming like a little baby. So next thing you know, I'll go on campus and then you hear the kids, "Oh my God, coach, we just saw you screaming like a little girl." I'll be like, "Oh, she's showing the snake unit again." But nah, I don't, man. And that was one of the things they said, because in my interview, I told them I was deathly afraid of snakes or reptiles. So when I did the interview, I was in the middle for Road Rules, Australia, and Seattle, Real World Seattle. So I was like, could go either way. And when they said, well, he's going to Australia and there's a lot of reptiles, it's a lot of activity. He's very active and hates reptiles. So we're going to get a lot of laughs. Said, but if we put him in this dramatic house, he's not dramatic. Said he'll be chill, but he's maybe too chill. So that's how I got to be on Road Rules.
Wow, you did yourself in then. You should have told them you love reptiles and you're scared of unicorns or something.
I'm telling you, because every mission that they could get with a reptile, they put your boy in it, man. And I'm telling you, like there was footage, but they didn't show it. But you just see me, you just see a little black streak running across the screen, because I was like running from something or somebody, like chasing me with something, man. But nah, I don't play with no reptiles, dude. No, sir. No, sir.
I don't know where the cat correlation comes in here, man.
It's just because I'm scared. It's like I said, I ain't scared of nothing else. I can handle everything else. But a cat, like, is just like the same thing. If you got a snake, I'm gonna go 30 yards away from you. If you got a cat, I'm gonna go 30 yards away from you. So it's like they the same to me. I just can't trust them, man. You can't trust them.
Hey man, everybody's got their phobia, so I won't judge. Oh man. Well, something else too. What is it? Oh, yeah. People were wondering about. Didn't Piggy like crash the RV the one time or something?
Yeah,
She did, right?
we were chilling in the one of the hostels, and you know every now and then because we didn't. It ain't like we had a little car to say, hey, we going. She was like, let's go get some smokes and go get something to eat. And so you had to take this huge 21-foot RV, you know, to go just like anybody else take a little Honda Civic, go to the store and come back. So they take this and take the RV, and they say, you know, they bust up in the hostel, and they like, oh my God, she crashed the RV. It was like, man, come on, you didn't crash the RV. Yeah. And they was like, no, she did. She really crashed the RV. And I was kind of getting fed up with her because she would sometimes do stuff and laugh it off, thinking that, oh, this is fun and games, but it would be costing us money. It would be costing us points and stuff like that. And it was like fun and games for her. I'm like, girl, but these points is determining whether or not we eat good at night, whether we sleep in a hostel or a hotel, you know, all this kind of stuff. And you playing with it, you know, we ready to like kind of live it up. We've been sleeping with chiggers and, you know, sand fleas and all that stuff all night. We want to get in a hotel, take a good bath. And so when she did that, everybody was like, oh, nah, you just playing. And nah, she smashed it, man. And we wound up having to kind of, you know, get our money together so that we could pay for it. But I don't know if they actually made us pay for it, but they took our money. You know, the producers did. So, you know, I don't know if we paid for it, but we wound up paying somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she was one of the ones like if she drove the Winnebago anywhere, everybody was up. Like we was like this the whole time. If I drove it, I'll look back and everybody be asleep. You know, Chadwick same way. He'll drive it, everybody be asleep. You know, I try to stay up, but just as a road dog, you know, because I hate when people fall asleep on me. But when she drove it, everybody be up and they be looking straight ahead, like like grabbing on the side of the little chairs and stuff. Like, okay, we gotta pay attention just in case we gotta dip up out the windows.
Yeah. Wow. So, did you go on those like post-show bar appearances during your time on the scene, or were those not a thing yet?
No, we did. We had a deal with Hard Rock and Planet Hollywood.
Oh, in Vegas?
Just like all the restaurants that used to be everywhere. And so what we
okay.
for us is like, you know, we didn't have to go in like different little bar places and stuff like that. They would say, hey, like since I was close to Atlanta, Planet Hollywood would call and say, hey, we want to do a promotional with you, you know, based off of MTV Road Rules and whatever. Can you come? And then you'd be like a serve for a day or host for a day, stuff like that. I'm from a place called Foley, Alabama, which is like 2.5 hours from Panama City. So when I would be home, they would call that one. Remember when MTV used to have MTV Spring Break? They would go to Club La Vila down in Panama City. So Club La Vila would call and say, hey, are you going to be in town? You know, we want you to come in host. We want you to come in, be a judge for the bikini contest or for the keg contest or whatever. So I would do things like that for them, you know, but I didn't go too far with Planet Hollywood. One time was a great experience. It was during the 4th of July, me, Ronnie, and Susie, we were guests at, I want to say it was Hard Rock. We were guests at Hard Rock in New York. Yeah. And that was awesome because we all got along very well together, you know. And then I think we did a few Planet Hollywoods with real world people and stuff like that out in LA. So, but I didn't go to like other bar scenes and stuff like that a lot.
Yeah. What'd you think about your edit on the show? I mean, at least challenge wise, they tried to really play up the you and Ronnie thing.
Yeah, they did. They tried to play it, but I mean, it was pretty genuine. You know, Ronnie and I, we were cool. But we both knew not to even get too serious because she was in New York, I was in Alabama. You know, so you had to keep it real, you know, for what it was. But for the time, you know, we were real cool with each other. Now my edit on the show of Road Rules, the only problem I had was they tried to make it like I was never into anything like, oh, okay, rock music again. Yes, because I don't like rock that much. I'll work out to it and I'll go to a club. But then if I say, hey, Busta Rhymes is in town, hey, Diddy's in town, can we go to that? And they would say no, but then we go to some band, you know, 3 heads and 1 testicle, you know, we go to whatever the name of them will be. We would go somewhere like that. And I'll be like, so we can't go to the hip hop concert, but we got to go to this one. you know, and then so they would show an image of me sitting like I was sulking, but the
So
thing about it, show the same image every time.
they try to make it look like you were like a complainer or something.
Yeah, and they would show the same image. That's what I said. So I said, now if you showed a different image of me complaining, I'm cool because that's me. But when you show the same image of me, I remember one time they showed, so I was like, I wasn't even there that night. You know what I'm saying? So I even, you know, but I understood, and so I would back in the days I would get we actually had fan mail, like written mail, and you know I was categorized as the angry black dude. You know that's what I was. You know, you want why you got to be the angry black dude? I was like, I'm not. I said that was one episode of me saying we don't went to like 10 rock concerts, and I asked, can I go to one of these? Can we go to this? And nobody said anything. You know, but other than that, the editing was pretty solid for me. And then I said, if I said anything that they got on film, I can't. I said it right. You know, and that's one thing I did hate when people was like, "Oh my God, they showing me in a bad light." I'm like, "Well, that's you." It just so happened it was recorded. You know, and you got to be mindful that we are recorded every day. You know, what I would do if I didn't want to be recorded, like they would say, "Okay, we're going to leave at 7 o'clock in the morning. We'll be there at 6:30 to put your mics on." Well, shoot, up at 4:30, and I will be on the beach, you know, running, or I'll be on the beach just chilling. You know, put our mics on. You know, so I find to myself, you know what I'm saying? And so I would find a way to, you know, honor my contract, doing everything they asked me to do. But then if I needed to get away, I could get away. Cause you know, I'm a rule follower to the extent, you know, where because I know these people didn't have to pick me. You know, I had an opportunity that I didn't know thousands of people applied for the spot that I was in. So when I found out, I was like, man, I'm grateful for it, you know? So I'm a advantage of everything. Every time they gave us a gift, every time they gave us anything, I accepted it fully. I still have sunglasses that they gave us. I still have the motorcycle, the original motorcycle that we won for our handsome reward. I still have that. That's in working condition and I ride it. I still have like one tusk that we had of the horn. I still have some of the Australian money. I still got a lot of stuff that I had from those times, you know, because everything they gave me, I was grateful for. I still have a jacket that we wore, you know, and I wear it wear it, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, there is an old expression: you don't bite the hand that feeds you.
No, never that, man, never that. You know, yeah.
Yeah, you actually met some pretty notable people too along your MTV journey. Kobe Bryant, we mentioned a moment ago. That now it's seeing as how the domino effect would unfortunately have taken a couple of years ago. That moment's got to be like even more precious now to think back on.
Huge, man. It's huge because for one, it's forever, you know, etched on. It's out there somewhere. You can see it. It's on YouTube. Every time, like the anniversary of his death or his birthday, somebody say that one time Kobe was on MTV. You know, that one time Kobe participated in the challenge, and they always have, you know, because we played against him and Reggie Miller. And not only that, man, but after that, we kept in contact. You know, for a minute.
You were Kobe?
Yeah, we kept in contact about 6 or 7 years. You know. And it would just be like, you know, hey, man, I'm in LA. What's up? And he would talk on the phone. You know, we hung out once or twice, you know, when I first went out there, and then it was a gap, and then we hung out again. And so it was just like, you know, but it would be like just lunch, be like something like that. Just communication, you know, real small like that. But and I was all the kind of person like, I don't want to bother nobody. Like even with like Buman Murray, like if you ever need anything, call me. And I never hassled them, hey, can I get on the show? Because I just wasn't that kind of person. That ain't how I grew up, you know? And so, you know, and I think that from me not reaching out to kind of separated everything, but I was just pleased to have the amount of time I did have. And he was a genuine dude, man. He was a fan of the show. He knew stuff about us, you know what I'm saying? And that was crazy because this cat that's known all over the world. And to some extent we were too, because I had a cousin living in Japan and they saw us on TV. So it's like, damn, I'm all the way in Japan. I'm worldwide, you know? And so just to know that, man, but when he passed away, that hit home because, you know, I always show that video, and by me showing that Kobe, I show that Kobe video every year at the beginning of every semester that I get a new group of kids. I show them that video because you know how kids are. They see you as a parent, you know, when you're an adult, you don't relate, you don't have nothing. but a hooper or somebody that knows, when I show them that Kobe video, man, coach, it's a whole different ball game. Coach, how was it, man? How, they listen to everything I tell them then, because I've been there. I'm validated now that I've, had a chance to do something like that. You know what I'm saying? And so it has given me a lot of opportunity to meet and make a difference in a lot of kids. That's why it's so touching to me, especially when he passed away.
No, yeah, for sure, man. That's just, that whole situation sucked, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I was still wondering though why you guys didn't go with like a 2-man zone on him or like a 3-man zone, because
Nah, man, that dude, man.
that guy was different, man.
Oh my God. And they was just showing y'all what they could show y'all. Like he was abusing us out there. You know what I'm saying? And then Reggie Miller was just shooting anywhere in the gym, like anywhere in the gym, and it was insane, but I think they try to make it look good, they didn't want to make it look like a massacre out there. So the editing process kind of helped us like that. But I don't care. We could have put a 2-3 zone, 3-4, 5-9, Jesus Christ on the left side. It didn't matter. It was going on us, man. That cat was something,
Yeah.
That was nappy head Kobe.
Yeah. Oh,
Kobe,
yeah.
with the backwards clothes. He didn't wear his clothes. He wore his clothes inside out. That Kobe was dirty.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to preserve his body. That Kobe right there was dunking, out of the air conditioner vents. You know what I'm saying? He was insane.
What about Hefner? Did you meet Hugh Hefner?
Yes. And
How was that?
I thought about that yesterday because I listened to Kevin Hart podcast, Straight from the Heart, and it was an episode they were talking about like a Bill Cosby incident, and they was talking about, well, Hugh Hefner has a documentary out too, and about what went down, and all that stuff. And I was just thinking about it yesterday. I was like, so I was trying to play back. Did I notice anything, that was like somebody in, distress or whatever? But I said, dang. I said, but he was a cool cat though, man. Yeah, he was nice, man. He was like, we got there. He pulled up on us, they opened the gates, he pulled up on us, and he walked us around the grounds. He had a young lady to tour us around, and he said, I'll be back. So he went and changed clothes. He was on his way out. So this was about 7 o'clock when he went. I said, you got anything, you call anybody, whatever. He comes back around about 11. He says, I'm getting ready to take a shower. Then I'm going back out again. He leaves out about 1, says bye to us. Comes back in about 3:30, and he leaves out again. He's like, this is just a typical day for me. I was like, shh. I said, typical or not? I said, for one, you're nice, you're cool. 2, you don't have to wake us up every time you about to step out. You can tell us what you did, the next day. But that's how he was, man. That cat was smooth, man.
I don't know if he could ball like Kobe though.
Nah, he balled different. He was
ball in a different kind of way. But
ball right there. So yeah, most definitely.
Oh man. So you went and did a little bit of acting. Obviously, we just talked about. How far along after you got done with your last challenge did the acting pick up? Was it like immediately?
Nah, when I did, I did the challenge. I finished up. Let's see, 99 was when we did the last challenge. All right, so I finished school in 2000. I moved to LA in 2003. No, yeah, 2003 when I moved to LA. So I started acting then. Did a few little independent flicks and stuff, and I landed a gig in 2004. I landed a partnership with DirecTV.
Right.
So I got 2 commercials for them. And then 2005, 2006, I started acting on Hip Hop Harry, the little children's show.
Yeah.
And we moved to Georgia in 2006 because it started getting expensive. The twins were born, and we just needed some help. So we moved closer back to my folks in the South. And, and right when we moved, that's when the writer's strike hit. So we were supposed to be getting ready to shoot a season 2 for Hip Hop Harry, and I was going to fly out there and do it. But the writer's strike hit, and so it put everything on freeze for a while. And so that kind of messed us up because during that time, you had all these other shows that started releasing material out because they were right on the cusp of the strike hitting, and they released all that stuff like Yo Gabba Gabba and all those what was that other, the Wiggles and some other stuff. And so it kind of pushed us after we did our season. It kind of pushed us to like later slots and other time slots. And so I was like, well, I'm in Georgia, let me do my thing. And so I had a proven resume, and I was doing pretty good. But when I got to Georgia, it was like you don't have representation, so you can't audition. I was like, they want some backwards LA stuff. Like, then they'll say, well, go audition. Then you audition. Then they say, well, I need you to do these headshots. Then I need you to take these acting classes. Then I need you to do this. And it was all on the umbrella of somebody else. I say, man, you don't have to do all of that. I said, I've been in Hollywood. This is how it works. You trying to get that extra money out of me. And so it just got to the point where I would audition for stuff. And then if I didn't get the role, but the people I saw on TV that had the role who couldn't act, had horrible, acting skill. And I'm not saying I'm the best, but I know for a fact I can act better than some of them cats on some of those shows. And those were the roles that I auditioned for. And I was like, it kind of put a sour taste in my mouth. And so I just left it alone for a minute. But I've done some stuff with some of my classmates from Alabama State. One of my buddies, Johan Smiles, he's like doing some big things out there, man. This brother, man, he's done some work with Denzel, with Tom Cruise. He taught drama at Jackson State University, and so he and I are trying to work on some stuff soon, and so I'm just trying to get back out there, man.
Yeah, man. I can see that hunger, man. Yeah,
it's there. Yeah, my boys are getting ready to go to college, so I have a lot more time on my hands too. You know what I'm saying? So
these years are precious. You gotta get them while you can get them.
Exactly.
Well, I had a fun time chatting with you, man, and picking your brain a little bit and giving some of the fans that have been dying to hear from you for a while what they were asking for, and hopefully in the future you and I could be having another chat if another opportunity comes your way. You know what I mean?
And anytime, man. Just I'm only a push button away, man. Whatever you need to holler about, if we want to critique something, watch an episode, let me know which one.
I bring on guests for recaps, so let me know, like, once this thing comes out, maybe we could do one of those.
Oh, most definitely, man. Anytime, I'm here, man. I just want to see people thrive in the game or whatever it is they're doing, man. Any way I can help out, man, please let me know.
For sure, man. All right, have a great rest of your night.
Hey, man, thanks for having me, man. Much love to everybody out there, man. I pray that I get to see you all again sometime soon. Love y'all.
Yeah, man.
All right, peace.